What if I told you that a 50-year-old movie predicted the world you're living in right now? And the scariest part isn't what's on the screen, but what's already on your dinner plate. In 1973, audiences watched a film called Soylent Green, Charlton Heston, Dystopia, New York, the year 2022. Back then, people thought it was just another doomsday fantasy. Crowded streets, food shortages, and a corporation feeding the masses with green wafers. It was marketed as science fiction. But what if it wasn't fiction at all? What if it was a warning? In the movie, Earth is choking. Pollution covers the skies, oceans are dead, farmland is gone, and billions cram into collapsing cities. People survive on substitutes made by the Soylent Corporation. The dark twist. Soylent Green is made from people. Audiences were horrified but shrugged it off as entertainment. But maybe they shouldn't have. Because 50 years later, the world of Soylent Green feels less like fantasy and more like tomorrow's headline. Walk into any supermarket in 2025. Aisles aren't packed with fresh food, but with boxes, bags, and bottles filled with chemicals. Natural flavors that aren't natural, seed oils designed in labs, artificial dyes linked to health problems, lab-grown meat sold as the future, crickets and worms powdered into sustainable protein. Step by step, real food vanishes, replaced by products designed not to nourish you, but to control you. And who controls them? The same conglomerates with ties to governments, scientists, and media. They tell you it's safe. They tell you it's progress. But is it really? In Soylent Green, the rich had real food. The masses ate wafers and were told to be grateful. Today, fresh food prices skyrocket while processed junk stays cheap. A family can't afford a basket of groceries, but chips are still $1. Organic eggs cost $10, while candy bars are 2 for 1. Beef becomes a luxury, while governments push lab-grown substitutes. They sell scarcity, then sell the solution. Exactly what the movie showed, a two-tier food system where elites eat the real thing, while the rest of us swallow substitutes. And here's where it gets darker. In the film, the revelation was cannibalism. Soylent Green was people. In 2025, some US states legalized human composting. They call it eco-friendly. Bodies turned into soil, crops grown from the remains, food harvested from the dirt. Maybe it's not direct cannibalism, but the principle is the same. Humanity reduced to fuel for the machine. Even without that, look at the poisons we're already fed. Preservatives like BHA and BHT banned elsewhere, but in American cereal. Red 40 and yellow 5 dyes linked to tumors, poured into candy. Aspartame declared safe again despite controversy. Seed oils pushed as heart healthy, tied to obesity and disease. This isn't nourishment, it's chemical engineering. It's profit first, control second, your health last. Just like Soylent, the system keeps you alive enough to work, but weak enough to stay dependent on pills. And speaking of pills, why do the same corporations that sell you food also have stakes in pharmaceutical companies? The same billionaires buying farmland are investing in lab-grown meat and synthetic biology. The circle completes itself. They poison you with the food, medicate you with the drugs, and profit at both ends. If you think this sounds like a conspiracy, remember Soylent Green worked the same way. Food, government, corporations, police, intertwined. The system was never for the people. It was built to exploit them. In the movie, climate change and overpopulation justified everything. The oceans die, so we need Soylent. Crops fail, so we need Soylent. Too many people, so the system must control them. Sound familiar? Today, we're told the climate crisis requires radical solutions. Eat bugs, give up beef, trust the labs. And yet, who suffers? Not the elites. They still eat steak and drink rare wines. It's you who's told to accept cricket flour while your health deteriorates. And here's what the movie couldn't predict. Technology today. In 2025, food is tracked, coded, engineered at the genetic level. Every seed patented, every GMO monitored, every field sprayed with chemicals that sterilize the soil and the people eating from it. DNA-edited tomatoes, CRISPR cows, fake breast milk. Is this about feeding people or rewriting life itself? When corporations own the DNA of food, don't they own you too? Think about the psychology. In the film, people lined up on Soylent Day, grateful for their ration, never questioning what was inside. Today, how many people mindlessly scan barcodes, order fast food, drink sodas, and swallow whatever packaging tells them is good? Compliance through convenience. Dependence disguised as progress. And when you do ask questions, you're labeled paranoid, conspiratorial, extreme. But 50 years ago, those who questioned Soylent were called crazy too, until the truth came out. And what about depopulation? In the film, the unproductive were euthanized and fed back into the system. Today, rising cancer, infertility, and chronic illness are brushed off as bad luck. But what if they're not? What if the chemicals, additives, and engineered substitutes are part of a long game? Not just for profit, but for control. A sick, weak, infertile population is easier to manage. A dependent population is easier to control. Isn't that the perfect system? Feed you, weaken you, profit from you, then replace you. Remember the final scene, Heston screaming, "Soylent Green is people!" Authorities drag him away, silence him, while the system rolls on. Today, who are the ones screaming? Nutritionists warning about seed oils. Doctors exposing artificial sweeteners. Farmers fighting land grabs. Researchers warning about genetic manipulation. And what happens to them? Silenced, mocked, deplatformed. Just like in the movie, the system protects itself. The question is, will you listen before it's too late? 50 years after the movie, we live in a world it predicted with eerie accuracy. Food poisoned, corporations in control, elites feasting, while the masses eat substitutes. And here's the chilling thought. If Soylent Green nailed the first half of the prophecy, what if the second half is still coming? What if the next revelation is even worse than we imagine? You be the judge. If you're awake, you already know what to do. Hit the link in our description and join our underground newsletter.